No.
So loud.
I had to crank it
How
up.
many people are gonna immediately? So many new listeners coming in, and they're already gone.
Yeah,
They're
sorry
already
guys.
done.
We did get in the weeds with early internet on this one, so you guys will be in for a treat
Ooh,
on this week's
spoilers.
It Takes All Kinds podcast, episode 240. Very special episode. We are recording this on October 28th. You will be hearing this on November 4th.
That's correct. Yeah, I was just saying, it's a PH episode. It's pre-Halloween, but you're also hearing this PH, which is post-Halloween. So we haven't even had Halloween yet, but we didn't talk about it. So there's no real reason to even bring it up, but I just wanted to make a point of it. That we're still excited for Halloween, and you guys just had it. Isn't that crazy how time travel works? Gavin, we just got done recording this episode with our amazing guest. It was so much fun. Of course, I am talking about comedy legend, podcast legend, actor, New York Times bestseller, the one and only Paul Scheer joined us on the show today. It was so much fun. In case you didn't know, I guess we talked about it a little bit, but just to let the folks know, in case you don't, I am the associate producer for Paul's YouTube show called Dark Web. Go check it out. I'll link it below for sure. So that's how Paul and I got to know each other earlier this year. When I say this, I mean this. Truly, truly one of, if not the nicest man in Hollywood. And we can't thank him enough for giving us his time to join us on here. It was so much fun. Gavin, anything you want to say, or should we just get right into it?
No, I was honestly pretty starstruck. I've heard so much about him, and I'd seen him in so many different things, and I was always like, and you had mentioned we're getting on the show. I was like, I'm just gonna laugh at everything he says because I'm just like super funny guy. I've always liked this
You
stuff.
still got a mess in your pants from it, I've heard. You still gotta clean that up.
I do. I'm trying to clean it up with this tiny little backpack.
Exactly. And without saying much else, let's get into our interview. Well, our show. I don't want to call it an interview. Our show with the one and only Paul Scheer. Cool. Well, Paul, thank you so much for being here and doing this with us.
Excited.
We're so honored to have you here. We're really excited. Yeah, thank you.
The only way it's only going to go down. I mean, I feel like I should leave now, and at this point where I feel like we're on a high.
We're on a high right now, and yeah, we might as well just wrap it up. So, thanks for coming on. And
hey, look, it's been a pleasure. You guys are great. Keep on doing what you do, and later.
And that's it. That's all we need. We just needed it for a clip. And that's all. We're just clip farming over here.
If just the clip is, I come on and I go,
yeah,
and they should never do that.
Exactly. And
I
then
do all my classic catchphrases for you.
Yeah, of course. That people know all your catchphrases, and they're just excited to hear those. That's all we need.
I mean, and then people don't need to hear context or anything like that. It's great.
No. It's all about Well, and what we'll do is we'll AI your voice over like saying other things and like
and I'm totally down with that. You can manipulate. I'm all about that. I'm about supporting AI. AI first is always what I always say. And if I could just get a quick plug in on my bag collection, I am a designer bags. They're small backpacks. They look just like a regular backpack, but they're smaller and they don't fit anything. But it's more of a you never need. You never leave home without a small backpack. That's the thing. It's more of a style thing.
That's amazing. Yeah, we'll put it all down in the description.
Please
we'll
put
link,
those plugs. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll link to the Temu website.
It's a great website. It's a partnership with Temu. I've been working with them, and we've gotten the price down on these little backpacks. I mean, it's really good, really cheap.
They're the best.
Try to make these backpacks in America $5 a backpack. You make them on Temu. Every 1,000 backpacks, I get $5.
Whoa! Every
Yeah,
$1,000.
and then I get the money on top of it. They're paying me to manufacture them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I got to get in on this. I got to start selling my little backpacks.
Please
Can I
don't.
be an angel investor?
You could be an angel investor. Yeah. Don't compete with me in the space. I did a lot of research in this space. No one's selling little backpacks.
No one is selling them. Nobody. Don't even search it up.
Yeah, it's gonna be the new Labubus.
Yeah.
Backpacks.
Little backpacks.
The backpack. It's a backpack for your backpack. So your backpack finally has a backpack.
It's genius. We're gonna see these in every Pop Mart, every grocery store.
By the way, now as I'm saying it, I'm like, I could see that idea like catching on. I could see somebody like, yeah, you know what? I actually will make a mini backpack for backpacks.
Yeah, because I'd be surprised if that's not already a thing. Because I know there's like little purses.
Right.
You can buy a little purse. I haven't seen a little backpack, so I'm not gonna.
Look, I know that you guys are not, foul-mouthed show.
No, never.
I
We
mean,
never say
Gavin
names.
sometimes a little bit dirty, but besides that, you guys are clean as a whistle. With those little purses, are they all sexually suggestively like titled like little like I've heard like little Percy's? Like that. This is not me even doing a bit. Like I've literally seen that multiple times that there's like little Percy's.
Oh, I've never seen. I didn't know that.
I
they had a
actually
name.
never heard of those.
All right,
That's,
so maybe I'm making it up. I don't think I am.
I thought Little Percy was the Percy Jackson prequel.
Oh, I'd love that. Little
Percy.
Percy. And what makes it interesting is that he already he's like a preteen when Percy Jackson starts.
Oh,
so
it is.
little Percy we're really going back. We're going back early. Like
Wow.
it's before he has any real cognition. Like he's forgotten what happened last week.
That goes to show I've never ever read those books. I didn't know.
Oh, they're good. They're
they're
Jason
really good.
Mantzoukas is in the Percy Jackson TV show.
Oh yeah. Okay, I think I knew that.
He plays, I believe, Bacchus, god of wine, who is teaching kids. Grumpy old teacher. And I feel like
There
I
you
can
go.
say this. I'm sharing his own story, but he said that he blew their minds when he was on their Percy Jackson like recap show podcast and revealed that he was 52. They were like, "Wait a second, you're older than my parents."
And that they couldn't believe
They were kind of shocked.
He looks good for his age, and so do you.
Hey, look,
Hollywood's
I'll take
keeping
it.
you guys young.
Yeah, baby. It's all that little baby blood.
Oh, of
I was
course.
gonna say adrenochrome.
Yeah,
Well-
adrenochrome.
Keep it in your little backpack.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, but unfortunately, I do go through a lot of it, so I do have to put it in my big backpack.
Oh, okay.
But I do pour some on my little backpack to keep my little backpack looking young and fresh.
looking
Clean. It's like
not
cleaned up.
wrinkled. Yeah,
Yeah.
clean it up. Well, speaking of Jason, and you guys in general, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but way back in 2012, 2013, when I was 12 or 13 years old, the first podcast I ever heard of, when I didn't even know what a podcast was How Did This Get Made?
Whoa.
Yeah, did not know what it was, didn't know anything about podcasts. I don't know if I was definitely watching YouTube at the time. Like I was
Okay.
always into watching YouTube, like ever since like 11 years old. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber and
Whoa.
do all this stuff.
Who are your like YouTube stars at 11? Were you like PewDiePieing it up, or is that that's even probably-
Tobuscus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gavin was definitely probably into more gaming stuff than I. Actually,
Okay.
I was a Minecraft YouTube watcher.
Huge Minecraft YouTube guy.
I was really into like tech decks, like fingerboards, finger
Oh
skateboards.
yeah, I know about the tech deck.
Super
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
So there were like YouTube channels with tech decks on it.
yes.
I don't get a tech deck in the sense that it's like you. So I'm just like gonna do tricks with my fingers, but is there any skill there? Like, am I really trying to kick flip it or something like that, or am I just kind of going like, if I had a skateboard, I would?
Well, it's for your tiny backpack. For
Yeah,
sure.
well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could always throw your tiny backpack on the back of that, which is great.
Yeah, of course. There actually is a lot
Okay,
of
no,
skill to it.
Well, so we've been finding on the dark web, which is a show that Carson and I do together. Wes did not know that I had this uh, vault of clips. Like for whatever reason, it was not being communicated that I was collecting clips on in a ridiculous pace. But one of the clips I've been dying to bring on the show is a Tech Deck Championship, where it's a bunch of guys and they've had this like skate park and we're in on their fingers. I was like, this
Yeah.
was fascinating to me. Yeah.
I'm sure I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, there's more now, but like when it was really big. There's a big company over in Germany
Okay.
that would put on events like every year. So that was the original one. And then it became, I think Tech Deck does their own one now.
Okay, got it.
I still kind of keep up.
By the way,
on it
you
a little
should. I
bit.
mean, you never know when you're gonna those skills. So did you have tech decks as well?
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. But like it went beyond just the plastic fingerboards. It went
Okay.
on to like there was companies like that company in Germany. There was another guy based in Massachusetts that would make them out of wood and make little wheels with actual bearings in it. And these things were
Whoa.
selling for like over $100 for a complete setup. Like that's a crazy industry that I think is still doing
Well,
well.
look, I know that my kids have tech decks, and we keep them out in front of the house just so we know that if there are any, small people that come by, they know that this is a friendly spot. We
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
we want to make sure they feel represented in our home. We don't we don't want to be heightist.
You don't discriminate against different skateboard sizes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
But
all
some
the
mornings
same.
I'll come outside and it will just be like, like little Taco Bell wrappers, just like in my bushes, and like old
cigarette
old
butts.
E, and yeah, like it's all small, so it's even hard to pick up. With I have to like get down there with like a tweezer and just so you
Yeah.
get this. Yeah, it's
You're like,
really it's a
darn
pain. Yeah, these darn damn kids,
kids again coming
skate
around using their
kids.
skateboards. But yeah, yeah, back then I was watching that, and like I think I must have must have been when I had my original iPod Touch that I was scrolling through, and I opened up the podcast app and saw How Did This Get Made, and was like, what
Oh,
is
wow.
this? This graphic looks cool. I don't know what this is, and so it's a weird kind of full circle moment now coming
It's
out
so
here.
interesting. I've talked to so many people who have had that similar kind of experience um, with How Did This Get Made, because we've been on the air for 15 years. And
Crazy.
when we first started doing the show, it was one of those things where you're like, oh, yeah, we have a podcast. And people are like, well, what's that? Right? And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, if you have an iPhone, you go to the Apple Store and you download podcast, an app. Like, okay, and then you got to search for it in the like. It was so convoluted to even
Sure.
get a podcast. And I remember most people in the beginning were just streaming on their computer. Like you would just open up a site and stream. Like really, we were on Earwolf back then. From the Earwolf website, you'd be like, okay, I'm going to open up this website and stream content.
I can't even imagine trying to tell somebody to do that like nowadays.
Right.
Like you have to go to a website and listen to it on your computer. If people would be like, no, I'm not going to do that because
Well, I think
everybody
that-
wants it right there.
I think the funniest thing is like, we talk about this, like we're in this world where everything is at our fingertips. And I say that with like excitedly so, like this is great. But I really want to get a number of how many people scroll out of the app. Like if you're in the middle of something, you're like, oh my God, that was hilarious. That's awesome. Click, next, gone. Like, it's like, you could be watching this show, you could be watching our show, it's like, yep, got it, done. I don't need, but when I was a kid, I would be like devouring any information I could possibly get. But now it's just like, whoa, that was awesome. I just learned something totally interesting about the human body. Not going to even follow that person. Next. It's like,
Yeah. I think it's so much of that. Like
right.
Cause like what I've really noticed, and this is probably getting too much in the weeds, but like, it really is, there's so many TikTokers, social media influencers who like, I don't even know.
Right.
But then like I'll see them and I'll go like, oh, who is this? Someone will send it to me. Like, who is this person? And then I'll go and be like, oh, let me check out their like YouTube or see what else they're doing. And like, maybe they'll link to their YouTube and it's like, they're a nobody on YouTube. It's like,
Right.
it's so like centered in one place with the way social media and especially TikTok is now.
Well, I'm always fascinated, and again, we'll get out of the weeds in 1 second because I
Yeah.
do need to sell these backpacks.
Of course. We'll get to that.
Yeah, that like I'll put the same clip on Twitter and Instagram and watch. Oh, sorry, on TikTok and Instagram,
Hmm.
and they never will the same clip hit big in both spots.
Yeah.
One will be like giant, the other one will be small, or vice versa. It's so bizarre, and I can't even figure out what that algorithm is. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like I don't even know. Like, arguably, it's the same sensibility. It's it's from the same show. It's not like pizza or sushi. It's sort of like pizza or pizza with a crust that's a little darker than the other pizza.
Right.
Like it's like.
It's so, yeah, I have no idea why that happens. It's such a weird thing that it's like, I used to be like, oh, it's probably just like algorithm, but I don't know. It must just, there must be like an audience difference or something. Like it's very weird. It's very bizarre.
It's interesting too because I feel like right now, uh, I'm so versed in like the idea of like 6'7", but I still
Of
meet
course.
people who don't know what 6'7" is, and I'm like, how could you not know? How could you not at this point? How could once the New York Times writes an article about it, like trucker hats are in, then like okay, the trucker hats are out. Like 6'7" has had like multiple, New York Times, like what are the kids saying? It's like
Uh-huh.
the hell of that being assigned that project.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Did,
God,
did
I
somebody
gotta.
wrid a 6-7 article for New York Times?
Yes, they
Of course.
did.
Of course.
Of
Of course. Well,
course.
that was a stupid question. That
Yeah,
was a stupid
yeah,
question.
that I mean, it's like, but I'm always amazed at like what misses people culturally and what like I was, when I first started my career, I was doing comedy at the Upright Citizens Brigade in New York City, and it's a great, amazing spot that was like the home of so many comedians that you know and you love, from
Hmm.
Amy Poehler and Rob Riggle and, just so many people came out of that place. Um, but my first like real job was working on the show called Best Week Ever. And Best Week Ever was a VH1 show that was kind of like Cliff Notes for the week. So it was kind of like Twitter, but for the end of the week. So it was like, did you see Survivor? Oh my gosh. And, or like, oh, this week on this, or, oh, this person did that. Whatever it was, we just would kind of highlight the pop culture moments of the week.
Hmm.
And it was incredibly popular. It was, it was like, I think one of those things that like hit at the right time because there was no social media, and drunk people would watch it on Saturday mornings, young kids would watch it on Friday nights, and then it would replay throughout the weekend. So it would replay like 10 times in like the course of 48 hours. So like,
Yeah.
everyone saw it. And again, first job. Like I think I'm just like a little bit older than 21, like
Oh,
barely, right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah, like right out of the gate. And maybe older. I don't know, but young. And and I bumped into somebody in the airport the other day, and they were like, "Best week ever," and I was like, "Oh yeah," and they go, "Have you done anything since then?"
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
wow.
Oh no.
And my moment, and I'm like, okay. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I was like, I got it. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, no, that was like the first thing I ever did. But I was like, wow, like in her world, that got through, and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else. And I'm not like, I haven't been like, oh yes, I do multiple. Like when I was on Veep for a season, like I tell people like, I'm on Veep, and people are like, what is that show? And I was like,
Hmm.
I thought everyone knew what Veep is. But like I wasn't like living in like rare air. I wasn't like, you don't watch Masterpiece Theater. I'd done many a
Yeah.
mainstream basic cable shows. But I love when she said that. And then you feel embarrassed, like, well, I definitely have, but
Sure.
maybe I haven't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why don't you know it? And then you're like, then I don't want to be in a moment where I'm like trying to explain my entire career. Not just like, not like, people who like, I get it. You can watch everything, but like, no, I'm okay. Yeah, I know I am okay. I've like,
Yeah.
nope, only did that. Now I'm an accountant. I live in Maine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Getting back on my
It,
flight to go home to Maine.
yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to be like, have you done anything since then? And it's
Anything.
like, Like,
anything.
where would you even begin? Like,
Well, like it's just tricky. It's like, yeah, but then you're like, but to them, it doesn't make it. Really, the answer is no. I haven't.
Yeah.
Because like I was on jury duty one time with Janine Garofalo, and it was in New York, and we were all in this jury box, and they were asking like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And she said, "I'm an actress." And he goes, "Would you be in anything that we would know?" And she said, "Obviously not." Like, and at that point, you are like, yeah, you're like, no, I could do all the explaining. It's just like, this person's crazy. Like, it doesn't make I can't convince you of anything.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, yeah.
Like the same way I got once recognized as Robin Williams. And I could not convince the person that I was not Robin Williams, which is something that has happened. So a lot of times I think people see you, or like me, and I've been in a bunch of different things where I think that if you look at me, I am definitely different looking than a lot of people. I have that going for me. I'm a bald man. I got gap in my teeth. There's some distinguishing characteristics. But I think if you're a normal person, you may just be like, oh, I recognize that guy. I remember he's on something funny. Mm-hmm. So then funny then gets filtered into many different things. I've been, oh, you're great on this show. You're great on that. I was never on these shows, but I'm not here to correct anybody because that gets awkward for both people.
Yeah.
So I just take it. I always take it. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I'm glad that you liked Righteous Gemstones, whatever. Like, oh, and then like a lot of the times I know where they're coming from because people confuse me for Rob Corddry, and they're like,
sure,
oh, you're great on Daily Show. Thank you so much. And I don't even think that they're confusing me. Like, they think I'm Rob Corddry. It's like, it's ball guy, it's comedy.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just throwing something. So this one time I'm going through the airport, and a guy is like, I know you, man. And I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, how are you? He's like, I'm a big fan. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And he was like, I'll keep it quiet. And I was like, okay. And I was like, but he's like, Robin Williams. and I was like, and I almost started laughing. I was like, what? I'm sorry, what? He's like, Robin Williams. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not Robin Williams. He's like, don't worry, your secret's safe with me. And I was like, no, it's no secret. And I could tell that he did not want to, like, I could tell that, like, now he thought, oh, now we're doing a bit. It's Robin Williams, crazy Robin Williams, doing a classic "It's Not Me" bit. And so I agreed to it. I was like, oh man, you got me. Great to see you. Now, where I felt badly was Robin Williams had been dead for multiple years by this time.
Oh no!
So
oh my god!
So where I really felt guilty was he would go home that night and say, "You never guessed who came to the airport today, Robin Williams." And then someone would have to say,
somebody's mind.
He's dead.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the other way, that he's like, oh God, sure. What happened?
Yeah. Somebody's like, he came back. He's back. That's crazy. What a compare. Yeah, but that makes sense that it's like you're just making. He's seen you. Yeah, and he's making the connections. It's not getting to the right point.
I have no issue with, like, it's the worst conversation to get into. Like, but wait, no, I don't know if I watched that show. Who cares? Who cares? Like it's like at this point, like, we should go. It happened. It went on, and and we gotta keep on moving. And I will never correct anyone. And even though there's some moments where I'm like, I wasn't in that, but all right, I'm going to agree to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, to most people, I have been in Impractical Jokers, Daily Show, a handful of other, like, odd ones. They always come out of the woodwork.
Sure. Well, they're all
Hey,
good
I'll take
things.
it. I'll take it.
Yeah. I wanted to, so you mentioned that when you guys started doing How Did This Get Made, and you were telling people we're doing a podcast, they were like, what is that? When did that point become like, oh, you're doing a podcast, that's so cool? Or do you still get like, what is a podcast? Because I'll tell people.
No. Okay. Now, I feel like now everyone in the world has a podcast, right? So it's like, and I don't say that in even a derogatory way. It's a sort of like, but now it's so ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't know quite when it switched. I think what was kind of amazing to us was we started touring and doing
Mm.
big rooms, over 1,000 people in a show. And we were like, oh, whoa, wait,
Yeah.
this is like, because it was like our touring manager would always be like, you guys, we have to upgrade the room that you guys are playing. We're put you in a bigger room. We're like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we just thought, well, that's just New York. That's just Austin. That's
Yeah.
just, and it kind of grew from there. And now what's been interesting is it's what I've noticed in the last couple of years is it's this everyone has it. Everyone has podcasts. So now it's like, how do you get to people who are overwhelmed with the amount of podcasts that they have to listen to, right? Because it's sort of
Right.
like, how do you add one more thing to the plate? You got to knock one thing
Mm-hmm.
out, or people listen in, or it's an odd thing because it's also so personal. It's like people have these relationships that they've listened since the beginning. I've met kids on the road that have been like, oh yeah, I've been listening to you since like I can remember as I'm 5 years old, and now they're
Yeah.
like 20. It's like it's wild. It's like math doesn't work out, there is some. It's to me more like either a big fan or someone who looks at you and goes like, oh, so what's your podcast about? Like, like it's
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to sell it to you. I was at a award show last night, as a matter of fact, and it was an award show for podcasts, and I have no like I'm not like thin skinned. But the jokes that they were making, the jokes that were being pushed forward, were very much like, oh, this is a niche thing. I was like, I don't think it's like the jokes you could have done like 10 years ago were still being done last night. It's like, well, now it seems
Sure.
like people are making like $100 million from their podcasts. I think it's kind of ballooned out of like it was like jokes like you're in your parents' basement. I'm like, well, I don't know if that's indicative of the entire market an
Yeah.
award ceremony where you're giving like Amy Poehler,
Yeah.
it's, and Travis Kelsey, nominated for things. It's like,
Right.
okay, I don't think we're there.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you? We're at an award show right now. Where do you
Right.
think that
Yeah,
podcasts are?
and no shade on Dungeons and Dragons, but it was being treated like you're a bunch of nerds and you're in
Uh huh.
your podcasts. I'm like, oh, I think it's a little more elevated than that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Why? Why would you be making those jokes now?
Oh, it's rough. I did get in trouble one time because I hosted the YouTube Awards, the Streamies.
Mm.
Very controversial award show that when I hosted, because I was treating it like the way that you would make Academy Award jokes, and I was making jokes about podcasts, but not like, oh, you'll hit play,
Uh huh.
get your likes, like
Yeah.
and subscribe. I wasn't doing that. I was just doing like jokes, like, and what I found out very quickly was like, oh, people are like that. They're mean spirited. People
Mm.
don't want us to be making jokes, and it was a really interesting thing because unlike like the Academy Awards, you're in there and everyone's like, hey, that movie is weird or that actor is ubiquitous, whatever it is, like whatever the jokes are, like I found like there was a much more personal, like people like, don't make fun of the YouTube show that I do. And I was like, oh no. And I went and I had
Mm.
to go. I didn't even like, I guess the thing is at the end of the day, I didn't even do anything that was that rough at all. I mean, I'm not like that guy. I'm not like, hey, go fuck yourself, you
Right.
bunch of podcasters. I should go back and watch it because there was like apology tours that happened, and I sat down and talked.
No
And
way.
again, it was just,
Wow.
I think what happened was it was a night that was severely mishandled. Like it was
Mm.
like, I think that people catch on to stuff very quickly and are like, we're making an award show, and that's going to benefit me because we'll get everybody in the same room. So they rented out like this big giant theater, like this 3,000 seat theater in downtown LA, and had red
Hmm.
carpet and brought all these people in. And then the show was a complete mess. But you're also, to your point, bringing in someone who is like nominated for doing tech decks versus someone who's doing like lifestyle blogs versus somebody who's doing like just like Fred, like remember Fred from YouTube, right? So it's like, what's up with Fred? Is Fred still doing anything?
I don't know. Do you know, Gavin? I think you would know more than I do. Not that I'm trying to.
That
say
was
you're a
actually
Fred
someone
head.
that also I did watch a lot. I did watch a lot
I
of
did
Fred.
too.
I think he had recently posted in the last like year or so about something, but
Wow.
I think he still actively posts on stuff as far as I know.
I'm psyched, but I guess what I realized in that moment was, I'm looking at right now, Fred Figglehorn. Where is Lucas Cruikshank now? Let's see.
He's still posting,
yeah.
He's up. He's 19 years after going viral. He looks good, looking good. Nebraska native. I think what I realized though in those shows, it's like it's so hard to have a commonality because there's no commonality in what YouTube is, right? There's this. It's a platform, but it has no sensibility other than do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's such a wide net of different things going on.
Yeah, and it's like sort of like you can't like. There's no like general like, oh yeah, we agree with that, because it's like you can't make. I'm making jokes about a dad and son who go camping next to someone who's like eating the sourest candy. It's like it's not. It's a very different.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt so badly about it. That's why, like, and not that I didn't go on an apology tour because I was rude or mean. I went on an apology tour because it was so poorly received, and I felt like I was the only person in front of it that I was like, and it was not my show. I was brought in. The show was literally falling down around me. I was practicing my monologue backstage before the show started, but they had my mic on, so everyone heard the jokes before I came out on stage, and the live stream did too. It was terrible. They had like musical acts that like they forgot to hit play on the backing track. Somebody like got up and did like started humping the microphone stand. It was
just a mess.
A mess. It was one of the most traumatic experiences ever because it was like I'm in a room full of people that I actually did not want to irritate or disrespect and just was the figurehead for it. It was like, it was so bad. It was so bad.
And then you feel that falls on you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's me anyway. Like I feel like I'm gonna be like I was like, I'll take the beating for this. I'll take the beating. And it was, but now the Streamy Awards is like a professional, like real deal thing. But when I hosted it, it was not so much.
What year
was that? Will we see a host in the future?
I would come back. I hosted this. I just typed it in to see. I hosted the second annual Streaming Awards in 2010. It took place in the Orpheum Theater in Los Angeles. And there, I guess there is a video of it. So
I'm gonna watch that in its entirety right now.
There were 1,300 audience members there, and it says this is the Wikipedia page. The show was met with technical difficulties and other disruptions throughout the ceremony. It was criticized for its humor, which was viewed as unfunny, crude, and deprecatory of internet culture. That's probably me. No. A controversy surrounding the reception of the event led to the International Academy of Web Television splitting from the show to create its own separate award show called the IAWTV Awards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that I guess this is the first.
And that's all your fault.
It really is.
You should feel pretty happy.
I know. I'm like, oh God, did I do this? I guess I did.
So early on. I mean, 2010. That's 5 years into YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like the best hosted web series was Dig Nation. I don't know if you remember that. No. Best dramatic is the Bannon. I mean, I don't remember. Like Auto Tune the News won something.
Of course.
Gosh, yeah. Best new web series, Odd Jobs. It's interesting. Yeah. Branded Entertainment. This is a different time in internet culture.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a throwback. I'll do my own private viewing of that sometime because I'm curious.
I'm really reading it. It says containing unfunny, crude, and sexist jokes, including jokes about porn, masturbation, and vaginal rejuvenation. The show was interrupted by streakers, and led to an apology from the producer Brady Brim DeFarce. All I do remember is that I don't think all of this is on me at all.
No.
But I do know that the director left mid-show, just walked out of the control room.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. He was that done with it that it was time to go. Which again, that wasn't your fault. That was
No, but this is the one.
else.
Apparently Jim Louderback, the CEO of a multi-channel network called Revision 3, did say the monologue went beyond poking fun at the industry and was more like a spit in the face.
Oof.
Wow.
Tricky. Now, I will say that I did have 2 writers who worked on the Academy Awards writing my jokes, but I guess at the same time, whatever. You live and you learn, and you live and you learn.
And they don't have to apologize for shit.
I know.
They get to just sit back and go right back to
Yeah,
their
I know.
writing job.
This is it. Wow. That's really bringing back a blast from the embarrassing blast from the past.
Hopefully not too many bad memories.
I've recovered. And also like funny for me to be responsible for that. Like it's so not on brand for me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's probably your only controversy ever that you had to do any sort of apology to her for.
I know.
And it wasn't even your fault.
I was looking at I want to look at the jokes, and now I'm so curious. I should just do all the jokes for you guys. Here. And they,
we'll recreate it. Gavin's gonna go streaking across.
Of course.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is hilarious. I just did type up. I see a submission packet here for the jokes from the Streamies. I'll read you one blind submission from 2010 Streamies. Now, this is not one I did. I had people giving me jokes.
This is an exclusive. Here we go.
This is it. Okay. All right, I'm just going to read it. Okay. Again, these may not be good.
Okay.
All right. There's no denying the internet has forever changed. Oh, I got to pop up here. Sorry. Okay. There's no denying the internet has forever changed the way the world gets its entertainment. Thanks to the pioneers like Chat Roulette, we're now able to watch lonely masturbating men on demand whenever we want. I'd like to see NBC try that. Seriously, it might help their ratings. That's one. These are again submissions.
That was
these
good.
Not the one, that
was good.
Yeah,
that was. I know it wasn't NBC, but that was pre Jeffrey Toobin.
Yeah, right. That.
I guess that was CNN.
This is look, there you go. I gotta find my monologue. Now I'm fascinated. This is something that I was so afraid
I am
of
too.
for years.
Yeah, just something you tried to put away and
just be like, oh wait, here it is. I think I found the monologue. I think I found it. Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. This is
one of his many catchphrases came from this as well.
This is let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Oh, here it is. Okay. Hold on. Oh boy, now I'm nervous. Okay, let's see. Okay, I said, when they asked me to host the Streamies, I said, what's that? Then they explained it to me, and I said, I still don't get it. But then they told me Zoe Bell would be here, and I said, great, I'm in. Just kidding. I don't know who that is.
That's great.
Some of the web shows nominated tonight gets hundreds of thousands of views, and only half of those are from the creators constantly refreshing their pages. There's nothing bad there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then let's see, web shows have come a really long way. Last year, big companies like Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Universal wouldn't even consider making a web series. But this year, all of those companies did consider it, and then laughed at the thought and called it ridiculous, and then went ahead and greenlit The Bounty Hunter with Gerard Butler. And then let's see.
These are so harmless.
They're really not that bad. I feel better now reading it. Now, tonight we have 35 awards to give out, but let's not forget tonight's real winners, the 4 people who made money on internet content.
That's good.
Yeah,
for the time, that's pretty
accurate.
accurate,
Right? I mean,
yeah.
This is and then okay, okay, this is maybe the one that people at home might be wondering, what's the difference between working in TV and working on the internet? And I guess it's hard to describe, but if you really wanted to pin me down, I would say the difference would be between watching. But if you really had to pin me down, I would say it's the difference between playing in the NFL and watching your friends play Madden.
Okay.
I mean that's
that's not even that bad.
Not even that bad, right? Yeah.
I wonder if these jokes would fly better now if you were to
Right.
do them now versus back then.
You were just ahead of the time.
Yeah,
You were just ahead of the time.
I love chat roulette. So I love chat roulette. I'm just bitter it has completely overshadowed my website, Chat Russian Roulette, which is equally disturbing and slightly less messy. Oh my gosh! Wow! There you go. I mean, some classic comedy jokes.
That's classic.
He had those up quick. That's impressive.
You know, yeah. Look, it's the like the benefit of having everything at just being able to type it away. But yeah, I feel I look, not like it's not super respectful of the art of the thing, but they're also not super, not very very light. It's not like, you know, it's just it's 2010 too. It was a different time.
It was, and like we were saying, it was such in its infancy that it's like, you know, there probably was a part of you that was like, I'm hosting a show for award show for what? Like, you know, kind of like even actually a little baffled by that. So why not make a little fun of it?
I mean, at this point, I didn't even have a podcast. Right. So if you think about it like that, you're like, oh, right. Like, what is like what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not even out there. It is like a very, like, I feel like the only people I really knew were the Guild. The Guild was very popular. That was about it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Crazy time, crazy.
Sorry, I took you guys down this very long wormhole.
No sorry needed. That was the exclusive we wanted. I do want to switch gears real quick, and I want to. All right, that's fine. Let's talk more about the streaming.
All right, let's go to the third.
Let's go to the next year.
Verbal history of the streaming.
That'll be our next podcast. I want to hear, if you're up for it, your top 5 movies of the year so far.
Ooh, this is a great question.
Because I know we're just getting into award season, so a lot of the good stuff is supposed to be coming out. But
yes,
we've had so much great stuff this year, and I want to just know where you stand right now.
I'm gonna give you the first 2 just come right to mind that I'm like, they're going ahead. I'm not worried about. If you want me to rank them, I'll figure that out in a second.
Okay.
Sinners and One Battle After Another, like those 2 are definitely. They're in. There's no debate.
100%.
But then I'm gonna be like thinking about like 2005. This is where I'm like really bad sometimes. Where I'm like, all right, what are the other ones I really like? I mean, I really loved Weapons, and I really loved Naked Gun, and I'm sure I'm missing out on some stuff too. Like I'm trying to think of other, it's like this is where I lose like what else came out, and what else would be like in that high level of stuff.
I had the same trouble. I had to go back through my like AMC app to be like, what did I see this year so far?
Well, I go to Letterboxd too because I can see my Letterboxd, but I will say that what did I just bought tickets this weekend I bought tickets for Back to the Future, the 40th anniversary.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm very excited about that. I would say that like there is something interesting about Back to the Future in IMAX. And I'm like, do I need to see it in IMAX? But I'm like, am I getting anything from the IMAX Back to the Future? I did see Jaws in IMAX.
I did too.
Out. Yeah, and I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know where you all fall on that, like at all. Like, do you feel like that's is that just like getting that extra money or not? Like, I mean, I don't,
I feel like there's definitely a big part of it that is like getting the money for it. Let's put it in IMAX. People will go see anything, especially if it's it will go see anything if it's in IMAX. But I do feel like, I mean, I also just like, I'm always down. I'll go see a classic movie like that in the theater, whether it's IMAX or not.
Yeah, I love seeing like when I saw Ghostbusters and Beverly Hills Cop with an audience, it was so fun because those are like those things I wasn't able to ever like see with like a crowd, and it's so great to watch comedy with people. I think that's why I really love my Naked Gun experience because I was like, oh, like to be in a theater laughing that hard, I mean, is great, and I think it's like. I felt like that a little bit. I saw one of them days. It's like which I thought was like a very funny. It's like I just miss seeing like low budget comedies that are really solid.
Definitely.
I laugh very hard at Eddington, but I was the only one that was really doing that. And I say that not as a diss, but I feel like people did not. I feel like the audience I was with did not recognize that that was a I think. Well, I feel like it's a satire. I feel like there are jokes in there, but I feel like it's also. I read this great quote that that Ari Aster said, which is like, if you have to tell people it's a satire, then it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I respect that that people weren't laughing, but I also was like, but this is intentionally funny. This is this is what we're trying to do here, right?
This is ridiculous. Yeah, I got lucky where people were laughing, but
See that.
I was in that space where like I had only I'd seen some trailers, but the trailers pitched it from what I remember as being like something more serious.
Way
Right.
more serious.
Yeah, so when I went and saw it, I was like, I was not in a comedy
Right, you have to
laughing.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because that's not what Ari had ever done before.
Yeah.
You know, so it was definitely like it took me a second. I mean, I knew it was satire. I knew he wasn't like a psycho. Like he's
Right,
like,
right.
you know, but it was, luckily people were laughing at it, but I had to be like, oh, okay. Like these are jokes.
It's hard though, because like I think that, you know, like the vibe of a theater really affects your movie going experience. And if you live in a spot where people are not good theater goers, or can wreck everything, or can make it the best, you know, I've talked to friends who've done like Broadway shows, and you know, they're like, oh yeah, every show is different because the audience determines how they receive the work, but we're not doing anything different. I'm constantly fascinated by that. One night I was doing stand up. I don't really do stand up, but I had to do stand up for this thing, and I did my set in 3 different spots. And the first time I did it, it killed. Second time I did it, it died so terribly, and I was so flummoxed. And then the third time I did it, it killed again. I was like, what happened in that middle?
Yeah.
It was really just driving across town. Nothing changed, but like
Right.
people are like, nope, not on your side on this.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I feel like if I go see movie, I have to make sure I go with the right people too, because I feel like people can talk you out of liking stuff, or you look over and like, do you like it? And they're like, oh, they don't. Then you're like, oh no, this is bad. Yeah. Um, but I feel like I'm not trying to avoid your question, but I think at this moment, I would say Weapons, One Battle. I'll put Eddington in there, and Sinners. I think. I mean, like I'm sure I'm missing stuff. Where does that fall in your world? I mean, there's pretty and Naked Gun, if I could fit it in there.
Yeah, I think those are all great. Those are definitely, a lot of those I share with you, and a lot of them are way high up in my list as well. Mine, which I also struggled with so far, is Sinners number 1,
Yeah.
One Battle right behind it, Weapons number 3 definitely, 28 Years Later, which I loved.
I
A
need
lot
to
of
see
people,
that. I've heard it's great. Yes. Yeah.
very good. A lot. It's really mixed. Some people, it's either people hate it or they love it, and I loved it. I watched it in the theater and I cried.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
We were doing on Unspooled 28 days later,
Which is
right
amazing.
before. Yeah, great. And I was like so excited to go, and then I just missed every opportunity to go see it.
Yeah, it was there and gone quick. It's on some streaming now, and I can't remember which one, but
Yeah.
yeah. And then Smashing Machine number 5.
Whoa,
Which
really?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot.
Okay,
And
this
again,
is
another
interesting.
one. Yeah.
Because Smashing Machine is a movie that I feel like the consensus that I've heard from many a person was great performances, tricky movie.
Yes, I would agree with that. I
And
think
again, I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm just
No,
like,
no.
yeah, but yeah.
I think, to me, it definitely is a tricky movie, but I also respected that in the sense that I loved the idea of there's so many biopics now. You know, we
Right.
just had one come out last week.
That
And
flopped.
yeah, which flopped. Like,
I mean, it's crazy that
haven't
it
seen it
flopped
yet.
so hard. Yeah.
yeah. But I appreciated it because it didn't follow that same structure as
Right.
the what you expect a biopic to be. It wasn't like, there wasn't like added dramatics to it. It was just like following, like actually felt like it was following Mark Kerr's life, and it like didn't really like not to, well, yeah, I guess I won't say that, but yeah, it doesn't follow that normal narrative. And I thought it was shot beautifully. The music is amazing.
Well, I mean, can
Yeah.
I tell you that when you're talking about like an interesting biopic, the movie that I was talking to so many people about last year and people laughed in my face about it is Better Man, the monkey movie,
Oh yeah,
right?
people love that. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it. Yeah.
It's to me one of the most interesting biopics I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the monkey is such a smart choice. I loved it. I highly, highly recommend it. It's the not Robbie Robertson, Robbie Benson biopic.
Yes.
And it just blew me away. It's so well done. And that's like the weird world that we live in where it's like, oh, you made a very cool, bold choice that's incredibly artistic, and people are like, monkey movie.
Yeah.
No, this guy's a loser. Like, and it's like, oh, no, no, no. Like, can't we like make a big swing? Like it's almost like you would rather the movie be hidden so you didn't know anything about it, and you're like, oh, like you'd almost want to see fake scene shot so you go see it and then
Hmm.
be surprised by it. Because when you look at it, I'm just looking right now, it's got an 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 7.5 on IMDb
Wow.
and a almost a 4 on Letterbox, right? And it's like, and that's a great place to be. But
Yeah.
like for this movie to be like reviled, like what? The monkey
Right.
movie? Like it
Well,
like as if it was like bad guys or something like
yeah.
they bad guys me. It's like it was like oh like there was no trust that this was a choice that was like
Yeah.
beyond just like a like it felt like a brain rot. It was treated like a brain rot choice, but it was like, oh, I feel bad for this director who made a movie that was done with
Yeah. It took
quite
a
a lot of
swing.
care. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely, I think even on this show, Gavin, you remember better than I do probably, but I think we like, neither of us saw it, but we were like, we probably made fun of it, I'm sure, at the time. But for me, it was more like I didn't know who that guy was. Like I had never
100%.
heard of him.
Well,
So
that's
it was just like, yeah.
and I think the good thing about this, and this is what I was saying to other people, was like, he's definitely like a British star, like a pop star, but
Hmm.
you don't need to know. It's like a universe, like,
Okay.
and I think that that's kind of the whole thing I find about biopics too. It's like it's almost better if you don't know because then you don't care.
Yeah.
It's like it's like I'm not like I love Bob Dylan, great, I guess some people agree with me. But no, but it's like, but I'm not like so much of a completist that I could watch and be like, well, that's not how it happened. It's
Right.
like, well, I just watched the movie. I'm watching the movie and like, and like for Better Man 2, it's like, well, watch the movie. You'll see. Then you'll learn who
Yeah.
this guy is. And then that's it. Like, we don't have to go in knowing, but I do
Hmm.
agree with you. Well, why am I interested? I don't know this guy. Why would I care? But
Sure. Yeah.
it's odd. It's like a weird, I was in the same boat until someone like convinced me to watch it.
Hmm. Well, you convinced me to watch it. I'm
All
gonna have
right.
to
Well,
watch that. Yeah, because
uh,
yeah, I was the same way with Bob Dylan, where it was like, I obviously knew of Bob Dylan, wasn't really a fan, watched it, became a fan because of it, because I
And I think
enjoyed
it
it.
does a weird thing where it's like we lionize these artists in a way where you're like, you know, um, I don't know if everybody. It seems like a lot of the biopics of people that are alive are like they're pretty fucking cool, and you know what?
Yeah.
In the end, they're pretty fucking awesome.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, well, like it's like, and that's what I think is more interesting about like, can we just do an honest one, like one where it's like I love Jim Henson, but when you do like, yeah, he was a little crazy and he didn't get that vaccine and he died because of something that's purely preventable, but
Hmm.
but like we don't want to like, but it's like, but they were a great artist. It's like, yeah, but can't we just tell the story that
Tell the truth.
yeah, like, and
Yeah.
I feel like that whitewashing is kind of tricky, which is why I love the Robbie Williams one because it doesn't whitewash
Hmm.
much. It makes him out to be a real piece of shit.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I think the reason why, I mean, spoiler alert, the reason why he's a monkey is because he is a fucking monkey. Like he's just like like that. Like it's very much like he is, being thrown out there to do tricks and then acts the way a monkey would
Hmm.
act and destructive. And, it's par for the course of what he is.
That makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, I got that's one I got to see.
I
I
think you will
definitely got to
like
see
it. I
that.
think you will like it and maybe even be good in a group. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, but this year's been good, and I feel like we're right on the cusp of many great movies coming out. Like
Yeah.
that's what I feel like we are. Like it's that time of year where you start to become like a film snob. Like, you didn't see Train Dreams? Oh,
Uh-huh.
sorry. Oh, yeah, I saw Train Dreams. You see Train?
Yeah.
It's like Begonia. Although I'm very curious about that.
I am too. I definitely agree with you. I feel like I don't know what you think about this, but it does feel like this year, and I don't know if I'm just paying more attention, but it does feel like this year has been like exceptionally good for media, whether it's movies or music. I don't know if I'm just paying more attention to it, so that way I think that or not. I don't know what curious to know what you thought or what you think.
Well, I think that turmoil creates. It's like I have a theory that like when you go through a breakup, you actually create better art because you're just like you're going through some sort of an emotional catharsis, and it probably comes out in your
Yeah.
work. And I think a lot of artists are going through that. And I was like I think James Gunn has done some really interesting stuff. I love this second season of Peacemaker. I thought it was really
Mm,
interesting. I think that some of the I think that uh Superman had taken some interesting themes that were like darker than what I would expect James Gunn to do, even though it's like it's not an overtly political film, but I think people are wrestling with things like what do we think about this, and how do we put it into our art. So I always feel like in a time of strife or discontent or something, we're seeing like it infect our art. I with one battle after another, I believe that that is an apolitical movie that has come out in a time where it feels very much of the moment. But I think what that movie does is reflect that we are always in that moment. There's always another battle. We might be in the we
definitely.
some people might be deep in that battle right now. Other people may not be, but like this movie will be timeless because in 10 years there'll be a nut like everything is cyclical. And I think that's why, Vineland, which is what it's based on, is about 60s revolutionaries. Like I feel like nothing it's almost like I think because there's like a few immigration ideas in there, that people are like, well, it's about now, it's about now. It's like, but I almost think that that does it a disservice. I think the film is better than, I don't think the film is reactionary. I just think the film
Hmm.
is actually more about who we are culturally and what we go through and the
Yeah.
importance of fighting, always fighting.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that, so
Well, in case in point, I mean, he wrote that what 20, 25 years ago was when he
yeah,
started working on it. So like you said, it's the ultimate timeless classic because of that. It's just that
yeah.
idea that never goes away.
And I think that like, you look at like, even the Running Man coming out.
Hmm.
I read that book over the summer and it's
Hmm.
great. The original Stephen King
Really?
Running Man was wow. I was like, this is fantastic. And this is coming out and it's like, oh yeah, like the Running Man felt crazy, like, whoa, wouldn't that be crazy? Like a game show where they're hunting a human on TV. It's like
Yeah.
now you'd be like, yeah, I could see that. I could see
Yeah.
a version of this because they
Yeah.
were they were gonna make an ice TV show at one point. Like
Whoa, I didn't know that.
it's like so yeah, it's like, and I feel like that's like I feel like that kind of discontent or wrestling with things, and it's like even like there are big topics, and I'm not saying that any of these pieces of art have to like answer them, but you can reflect on how you're thinking about them. Like you can look at like this is one of the things I thought about too, is like you can look at like Superman and look at like, oh, is it Israel and Palestine, or is it, Russia, and is it like and kind of encroaching in, like it's like it's there's so many, yeah, we're dealing with it in multiple fronts. Whatever you're
Hmm.
like, but it's on your mind. It's in your thought. Like, what do we have, and what if there was a superhero, and how would that affect, that kind of stuff. You look at it and you go like, well, who's the Ukraine and Superman? It's like, and I understand when James Gunn's like, no, I'm not. No one is the Ukraine, but I
Yeah.
also understand him going, well, what would that situation be like with a Superman? Which is why I always loved the Red Sun, which is like that comic book where Superman lands in Russia instead of the United States.
Okay.
And so it's Superman lands in Russia, and he's brought up as a Russian child, and he becomes the Red Sun, you know, and it's like, and you know, because we were like, oh yeah, he lands in the United States, of course, because
Yeah, of
we're
course.
the best,
Yeah.
right? You know, yeah, like, you know, it's like, but it's a funny idea, right? Like, oh, what would the world look like that way? Which I think is, you know, it's just an interesting way of like looking at at current events in the world. You know, how would that upset the power balance?
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. And that was that. Yeah. Though I didn't love Superman. That was something I really appreciated about that. Is I'm like, oh, I like this viewpoint and I like this perspective of what he's doing here.
I think James Gunn has a really great ability to start worlds in, like, I feel like I like what I'm seeing in this DC world. It was like, we're not going to just like walk in on the shallow end. We're like jumping into the deep end, catch up. You like what you like. You don't like what you don't like. Don't worry about it. And we'll get you some flavor that you will eventually be like, that's my thing. But it's the only way to kind of do it. Cause I feel like, you remember, do you remember that thing that Universal tried to launch? It was like the Dark Universe.
Yes.
And it was like The Mummy was going to be one of. They had all these movies like lined up.
Dracula.
It's like, yes, and like we're building the Dark Universe, and it never materialized past like The Mummy's failure. And
well, Wolfman from this year a part of that? Or is
no,
that separate
it's been dead for a while.
Oh, that
so
was it's been dead for
yeah. But yes, but like it's like, so that like to me is like, that's the problem. It's like, don't say anything. I like how James Gunn is like, I'm not saying anything about what, like, we have a bunch of things and whatever. It's like, you'll get it when you get it. Like, it's like, and it's because it's better than being like, this is gonna be a hit. Like, I mean, I'm fucking furious at Tron Ares. It's like, I'm furious at Tron Ares. I mean, and by the way, maybe that's just because I'm still bitter from the streamies, but
of course. As you should be.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like a weird thing to be like, we're making that. I don't know why we're like, what we determine like has to have a success or have to have legs is so weird.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, Gavin, who's asking for it? Why?
No one.
And it really felt like that when I saw it. I was like, this is nothing. This is, why would you even put your money into this?
It's sort of like I wrote a Substack about it, not to brag, but I was saying, like, I was trying to articulate the way I felt about it. I was like, Tron should just give up and say, we're just gonna make some fucking crazy lasers and computer generated stuff and play like an awesome soundtrack. It should feel like oh my gosh, there's a great movie, I forget the name of it now, where you're just like kind of flying through a city. It's like it should just feel like we are like Konaquatsi, even, like, you know, to just feel like we're just like in this thing. It's like, and I would be like, I would go see that in a heartbeat. Like 100%. Make it like what Mamma Mia is to like oh, we're going in there, we don't care. Like, make that for Tron. Like, it doesn't have to be serious and cool, just make it crazy and weird. And, you know, it's like,
and that's kind of the perspective I went into it. I was just like, this is gonna be probably not great, but it's going to be cool visually, and there's going to be a great soundtrack, and that was what I took away from it.
Did you like the Depeche Mode monologue? Is it Depeche Mode monologue?
The Depeche Mode that was brought up like 3 separate times to really hammer home that he likes Depeche Mode. Oh my God!
So like, I can't even quite understand what that is and why that is in there. Like, how does Depeche Mode represent humanity?
Yeah, I guess I didn't even get that far into thinking, is it a is it a meaningful, is there a correlation to something else there?
Symbolism?
Yeah, because especially because he kept bringing it up. There's something else that they repeated. I can't remember what it was. But Gavin, Gavin has not seen it, and I don't expect him to. But
well, I mean, mainly it's just, I think Tron is just one big personal Jesus for a lot of people. You know,
right?
Just thinking, reach out and touch me.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
what it is. That's what it is. But Gavin, they keep referencing Jared Leto's character says that he's really into Depeche Mode, and he's a robot. He's a computer program.
Yeah,
who's saying that he loves Depeche Mode, and he says it many times to really hammer that home. Paul, one more thing real quick, if you have a second.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of media, we do a segment every week called Whatcha Listening To, where Gavin and I recommend a song, album, or artist to each other and to the audience of what we've been listening to in the past week. And I would love to hear what you've been listening to, because I also don't know what kind of music you're even into.
I mean, this is a great question, and a question that I get incredibly nervous to answer because
Oh.
I go all over the board and I don't want to be lame about what I listen to. But I'll tell you what I've been really enjoying this week has been the tracks I listened to right before I got here.
Okay.
Was Steel Panther. And I'm gonna tell you the name of the song because it was I know of Steel Panther, right? They're kind of like Tenacious D of like glam rock.
Okay.
Right.
I'm seeing them now.
And there's a song called "Fucking My Heart in the Ass," which is
awesome.
It was in Peacemaker, and I was like, "This song is great," and I didn't, and then I was like, and then I realized it was them. It's a great song, "Fucking My Heart in the Ass" by Steel Panther. Then, after the Dodgers had won last night, I had noticed that these original studio sessions of Randy Newman's "I Love L.A." came up on Spotify, and it's him like kind of not fully having the song, but just kind of playing it, singing it, and like it's I would say it's like 2/3 finished, and I love that. I love hearing like, oh, he changed that. Oh, that didn't work quite great.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. And then this is a different thing for me, but I do a lot of shows at Largo, and Flanny, who runs Largo, was just on Mark Maron's show, and he was talking about jazz music and how like that was such a big part of his life growing up. And I was like, Flanny, I don't know if I really have a good enough background in jazz. What's up in jazz? And he made me this playlist, and I've been listening to it because when I was a kid, I love like Mo Better Blues, and I had like Wynton Marsalis albums and stuff like that. But I didn't really break it out. Like people talk about John Coltrane and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I just shake my head, or Miles Davis. I'm like, yeah. But I don't really know or listen to them. So I've been listening to some jazz, and that's been awesome and incredibly kind of like it's just a hole in my knowledge of music that I just don't feel like I have any real connection to. So that's like where I've been like living a little bit.
Great mix.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's a sort of like I try to be open to stuff. I'm always trying to, and this is what I like listening with this show too. It's like I need to be like suggested stuff because I get in the car and I'll hit a podcast. I'll get in the car and I'll listen to an audiobook, but I don't often just like go to music, and I have to force myself to do that because I love music, but I forget to listen to it, which is a silly thing to say.
I do the same thing, and I get caught in such a loop all the time. I'm the same way. I'm like, and then what I end up doing is I listen to podcasts like from musicians who I like, and then when they recommend something, I like turn off the podcast and go listen to that come back. Yeah, I
follow a couple people on Spotify who I trust, and then like I just look for their playlists, and then I'll just get inundated with some good stuff. But yeah, like that's something that I really prided myself on as a younger guy. Like I had all these CDs. I was listening to music a lot. I was going to shows a lot, and I think I read a whole thing like you kind of cap out at you tap out at like 25. And where you're really like, I mean, that like is the general number they were saying really like ingesting and finding different things. And then it's like, and it's harder and harder to break out of your rut. But I was like, it is interesting because up until 25, I mean, I could tell you, I was going to a lot more shows and just like, I mean, and again, I love all that sort of stuff. It's harder and harder to kind of keep up or also take chances on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at 25 now, I am finding that as well. It's starting to become harder, and now I'm gonna have like an existential crisis later, being like.
But I think it's good. Like I think it's like you're just trying to figure it out. You're like you are kind of like it's like you're just like you will be, but you're seeing shows. You're there. It's gonna be. It's all good,
yeah, but the jazz thing, Gavin recommended. What is the name of the Miles Davis album?
Miles Davis's. I think it's.
Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on it too. It's the most well-known one.
Yeah, it's the
not that. Sorry,
Kind of Blue.
Kind of blue. Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
That's the one I recommended last week. So
that's a great. I mean, so far based on the playlist I'm listening to, I can agree with you.
Yeah,
it's very good.
It is only a few tracks long, but like 4 tracks long, maybe 5, and really good album. So I like that a lot. Like that one a lot.
Well, Gavin, what are you listening to this week? Maybe give Paul a rec of something he can listen to.
Yeah, that's funny you mentioned that because I think I had spoiled it for you a little bit, Carson. But I'm listening to Miles Kane's new album, the British glam rocker himself.
I didn't know you
Sunlight Yeah, he's like a glam rock kind of guy. But this one's kind of more like a Western kind of vibe with his album, kind of more like a hardened Miles Kane, and not like the not like the one that I was listening to, say like 6-7 months ago.
6-7.
Yeah, 6-7.
6-7.
6-7 months ago, where it's like 2010, 2011, 2012 Miles Kane, where he's just ripping out these crazy licks and stuff like that. This is more of tamer and kind of, like I said, just kind of Western. And I'm pretty sure it was produced by Dan Auerbach. If not by him, he's the guitarist for the Black Keys. If not by him, then it's on his label. So still, I listened to it and I was like, not my jam as much as I wanted it to be, but still recommending it to people. Just, if you're into that type of rock stuff. So yeah,
I love that. Well, I feel like you're talking about like the glam rock and then the hair metal. Miles Kane and Steel Panther, nice collaboration here.
Yeah,
get together, get them on a track.
I might have to listen to Steel Panther now. I mean, I've never heard of them before.
Oh yeah, they're pretty awesome. Like
they they look like. In case you wanted to see Gavin.
Yeah.
That's quite a look.
It's crazy.
I love that. Well, my quick recommendation, and this is going to be way out in left field for you, Paul, I think. I have been recently going back, and I went to a hardcore show. I'm a big hardcore music fan, hardcore punk. I went to a hardcore show the other week. It was this band that I really wanted to see, Earth Crisis. They've been around since the 90s, and then I kind of started getting back into more like classic hardcore albums and listening to people's recommendations of like what are some essential hardcore albums to listen to. And one of them is Marauder's 1995 album Master Killer. Very heavy album, so it's definitely like a headphones if you're in the gym.
Got it.
Would be a good time to listen to that. It's amazing. It's such a good album. It's so heavy, and I'm obsessed with it right now. It's a great album.
Love this. All right, great. This is a good one. This is exciting. Good stuff.
Yeah. Curious to know what you think, and if you turn it off after one song, that's totally understandable.
No, I'm open to that. That is definitely more of a thing I would listen to than not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to hear that. Well, Paul, I know you got to run. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us. This was so much fun. And last time, what's the Little Backpacks website?
It's just littlebackpacks.com.
Okay.
And we do need your social security number for every order.
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy.
No problem.
I got that right up here.
All right, great. Perfect. Yeah,
no problem.
Be easy. Yeah, it'd be easy to go. And yeah, so you put your social security number, your mother's maiden name, and then we will send those little backpacks out to you.
Wow.
What a pleasure. What a pleasure, guys. I'm a fan, and it was great to be on the show with y'all.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul.
We have so many other things that we'd love to talk to you about at some point, so we will have you back on very soon.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Cool. Thank you, Paul. Have a good one.
Bye. Okay, bye, guys.
See ya. Have a good one. Well, that might have to stay in the episode. Just sent him into infinity.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.